Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today's topic is going to be a little bit like more of like a continuation from last week's from the previous vlog. Then I was talking about how to apply for a work permit and stuff like that. So this is more of like a continuation. I'm just adding a little bit of some things that I've just learned, and I wanted to share that with you guys as well. So the topic basically is going to be about there's a new law that the government of Luxembourg has put in place. So it's kind of like they've done some adjustments and tweaked a little bit of some changes in the new labor law, and this law is mainly targeting the non-EU citizens and the third world country citizens. So they've tried to come around to tweak the law a little bit to make it a little bit easier for third world countries and third world nationals or citizens to access jobs in Luxembourg. So I'm going to read some of them because I don't want to get anything off head. I'm going to read more of it from articles that I came across, and I wanted to share it because I felt like this is really good news. And I felt like, since I know majority of my subscribers are people from Africa, so I felt like this is something I cannot keep to myself. I want to share it with you guys, and I hope it will be beneficial for you guys, and I hope it will help you in some way or the other to find the jobs in Luxembourg, because the jobs are actually there. So this is it. It's they say it's faster, easier access to the employment for non-EU citizens. So last year in September, meaning it's really new. So last year in September, Luxembourg implemented a new law streamlining the recruitment process for third country nationals, offering new opportunities for highly qualified people to come and work in Luxembourg. So if you have the skills, your CV is like not juicy, this is it for you guys. This is really good news. The new law makes it easier for non-EU nationals to have access to the job market in Luxembourg, as opposed to the previous years, which was a bit very bit tight for third world countries to people to get jobs. And then the new law looks at highly skilled jobs that many companies within Luxembourg are, because apparently there are companies in Luxembourg that are struggling to find workers for, because of it's Luxembourg is a bit very specific, as I told you guys in some of my other previous vlogs. Luxembourg is more about the financial sector, so you need for some organizations, they need like specific skills to come and tackle this kind of job. So the government realized that the European market and the Luxembourg market is a bit very small, and some employers or workers are struggling to get people. So they felt like it should be, maybe what they have to do is probably expand it a little bit wider, so to make it easier for these companies to access these workers. So for example, some of them can come from the third world countries, definitely, or out of EU. They could be able to find someone who can do this job. So the new law looks at highly skilled jobs that many companies within Luxembourg are struggling to find the workers. Then according to the ADIM, which is the National Employment Agency, the one that I told you is responsible for recruiting recruiting for organizations within Luxembourg. It's the national agency. According to the ADIM, the National Employment Agency, recruitment process for these jobs have been made easier. Employers will not have to wait on ADIM to check the availability in the market. Employers can just go ahead and apply. So for example, like these very specific skilled jobs that the employers cannot are struggling to find these jobs, are struggling to find the workers. So ADIM has made it easier for these employers to be able to recruit out of Luxembourg. So before, they had to wait, before the workers had to, you get in touch with ADIM, you let them know about the vacancy, and then ADIM will look around the Luxembourg market or the European market, and when they don't find someone, that's when they give the go-ahead to the other organizations to go ahead and find the jobs. But now they have made it much easier for these organizations, and they have made it much easier for the organizations to go ahead and and recruit from third world countries. Employers can now get the certificate granting them permission to hire third country nationals within 5 days, making it faster. So before, employers had to wait like 3 weeks. They had to wait like 3 weeks to get the certificate and stuff like that, which took a longer process. But now, because Number one, they don't have to wait on a DIM to go and search in the Luxembourg market or the European market. All they have to do is to go right ahead, apply for the certificate, and they grant them a permission, and this certificate comes back within 5 days. And within those 5 days, they're able to go ahead, and then they recruit out of the European market. This is really, really good. It's really good for us non-EU citizens. Also, the law simplifies for jobs that are not in short supply. Before, employers would have to wait for 3 weeks before a DIM could give them a go-ahead to recruit non-EU candidates. Now they only have to wait for 7 days as opposed to the 3 weeks. And if not a candidate is gotten, then a certificate is granted within 5 working days. I already explained that. Then automatic work permits. Automatic work permits for family members like spouse, children, etc. Before, the process was tedious and people could take forever to get these permits. So I don't think that doesn't. I didn't know that. I did not know that people had to wait this long because I do not fall in that bracket. But apparently, for example, let's say you with your family, you move to Luxembourg. You guys, the both of you are non-EU citizens. You move into Luxembourg. Your partner, definitely, you're going to move on the account of your partner who has gotten the job, and you have a work permit, so they will grant you residence based on your spouse. But apparently, I didn't know that you guys had to wait. Like if you're here, your let's say your wife, your whatever, and your spouse would have to wait like months for them to be granted like a work permit or permission to access jobs in Luxembourg. I didn't know it would take that long. It was really tedious and it was stressful for so many people. But now the process has been made easier, and work permits are going to be granted to people much faster, and so meaning when you come with your spouse, immediately your spouse will be able to get a job, and to make people's lives much easier. Because imagine you come here with your spouse, then your spouse is at home, you cannot apply for a job, it takes you forever. But now the government has simplified that, which is really, really good. Luxembourg is the place to be, guys. It's the place to be. Will also make it easier for asylum seekers to have access to employment opportunities. So if you've watched my video regarding seeking asylum in Luxembourg, I remember I mentioned that when you come here as an asylum seeker, you do not have the permission to go ahead and apply for a job. You're not allowed to work. So when as you're waiting for your asylum to be granted, so you had to wait for all like those 6 months. I think it was 6 months. You had to wait for like 6 months for your asylum to be granted. Then after that, that's when you're able to go and apply for a job. But now that law is also simplifying that. So as you're waiting for your asylum seeking, you're also going to be given permission to find a job and work, which is really good, because sometimes in those asylum homes where you're living and stuff like that, it's like a bit boring. You're just there, you cannot do anything. All you have to do to wait, and for like 6 months, it's really very tedious and it's really very bad. It's not like it's not so good. So now the government has tweaked on that issue as well. So now you guys, if you're seeking asylum, it will be much easier for you to find a job or something like that. Also, students and researchers studying in Luxembourg will be granted access to until 12 months after your graduation. So let's say you're here studying in Luxembourg, and immediately, before it was after you're done with studies, you are given, I think, a specific period of time, and then you have to go back if you don't find a job or something. But now the government has tweaked that as well. So after your studies, you have until 12 months to stick within Luxembourg, and in this month you're able to find a job and stuff like that. So if you get a job and it gives you like a work permit and stuff, then you can stick around and everything is covered. So which is also very good. That's like really, really a good thing. So there are opportunities. They're here. Opportunities are really everywhere in Luxembourg. Then the same legislative package also includes a slight increase in allowance for individuals with refugee status or those who have applied for international protection. So before, I'm not so sure about the amount of money that they're giving the asylum seekers, but you can go read further about it. But based on the new law, apparently that package has been slightly increased from what they were previously giving them, which is also very, very good. So yeah, that is something that I felt like I needed to share with you guys, because I was just going through my usual research and reading stuff here and there, and then I came across that, and my husband also mentioned it to me. So he was like, this is a good thing. I think you could share it with your fellow third country nationals, and I think it would be a good thing for someone. So guys, that is it. If you are out there, please look into Luxembourg. And if you have those skills, I'm not talking about things like driver, cleaners and stuff like that. No, that's not what I'm talking about, because those ones, they're a little bit also, those I'm not so sure about, but I'm talking about the skilled professionals. If you have the skills in finance, in IT, in engineering, in stuff like that, and you know, like your CV is that heavy and it's good, you will find the job, because the government has implemented a law that is going to be much easier, and accessibility for us non-EU citizens will be very easy to these jobs. We can now compete with the EU nationals, like, you know, it won't be only EU nationals and then you guys know. So this is really good, because Luxembourg is lacking in these in this area. There are many of these organizations need workers in these areas. So if you know you have those skills, you please go ahead and apply for these jobs. So I'm going to leave down a list of the occupation that are in high demand in Luxembourg. And if you know you have if you know you have experience in these areas, then you know that you can just go search on the internet for all the jobs that are available, and then you apply, because now you should know that it's going to be, the employers are looking for people. So yeah, so that is it. I felt like, you know, when I live in Luxembourg, so as I'm going about my business and I come across some of these things and I feel like this can benefit my subscribers, I always come to share it with you guys. So yeah, this is it. I'm going to leave the links for everything you need to read about this information. And read, guys, do not depend on what I tell you only. Go ahead, when I leave the links below, go ahead and read further about these things. And another thing that I need to let you know, I do not help anyone in applying for jobs, because I do not know anything about that. I'm just sharing the information that I hear here and there that probably some of you may not come across, and then I share it with you guys to just help you find your path into coming to Luxembourg and finding that job that you're looking for in Luxembourg. So yeah, that is it for today. I felt like I should share this, and I really hope this has benefited one or two people out there. And if you know you haven't subscribed, yes, I know majority of you are, you can't just watch my stuff and you're not subscribing, but please do subscribe, because you're going to miss out on some of the things that I'm sharing here. So go ahead and subscribe, comment, share my channel with your friends, anyone who you think is going to benefit from this, and let's grow my channel. And please, guys, watch the videos until the end, and don't skip the adverts. That is the only way I'm able to make some small money here and there. So don't skip the adverts, watch them, you know, like support Sophie, you know, motivate me to bring you guys this kind of information. You know, it's the hustle we're trying here and there. So anyway, so that's it for today, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.